if you are someone who enjoys traveling, you appreciate our beautiful and majestic national parks that are found throughout our great country, and you're just someone who also appreciates a good cause when you see one, then stick around, my friends, because I think I have something just for you. So let's drop the music and get right into this video. Well, hello my friends, welcome to another review here on another Tuesday. My friends, it's good to see you again as always. And if this is the first time we're meeting, well, my name is Natural Soap Man, and my mission here is to help you find the perfect bar of all natural soap. Now this week, as you can probably tell, wondering, I got 3 different soaps, what's going on? But hey, don't worry, I'm about to tell you about all that real quick. But first and foremost, let me tell you a little bit why I'm excited about this review in particular. This is actually a review that I've been looking forward to for quite some time. And what we have here is basically a collaboration between 2 companies known as Ursa Major and Parks Project. Now, if you're not familiar with either or, that's okay. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about them right now. Let's start off with Parks Project. Parks Project is basically an organization where their whole mission is to advocate and educate and obviously donate money and also volunteer in efforts to help support our parklands or our wildlands throughout our country, right? Interesting enough though, to this day, they were established back in 2014, and since then they've actually raised, over thanks to people like you and me, they've actually raised over $2 million to this day in efforts of supporting their cause, right? And on the flip side, we have Ursa Major. Now, this is another company you may not have heard of, and that's okay, right? They're more in the hiking, the camping, like the outdoor scenes, right? And they specialize in skincare products relating to that. But without further ado, let's start talking about our soaps here, right? So what we have here is a trifecta between Redwood, Zion, and Acadia. These soaps are supposed to reflect the national parks in which they represent. Okay, so let's start off with our Zion. If we look at the packaging first, you can tell it has a different range of colors of darker oranges, lighter oranges, and even some yellows. But if you also look closer, you can tell it has like these really long strokey formations, which almost gives it an appearance of being layered, right? Now to me, I think this is intended to represent, like if you look at the side of a rock or a cliff or these big boulders or whatnot, it's supposed to represent like the sediment layers of rocks that form over countless thousands of years, right? So I think that's pretty cool, really cool detail there. But looking at the soap itself, this could very well be my favorite one. Just talking aesthetically, soap wise, I really appreciate that deep orange color. It really looks like they would have took some of the rock or the clay from that area and would have made that out of the soap. So speaking purely aesthetic wise, I think Zion might be my favorite out of all 3 if we're looking at the soap itself. And we're now looking at the Acadia, and first things first, if you notice, you're looking at the packaging, has these obvious wave patterns or wave formations, obviously to represent the ocean, right? Because Acadia National Park is located off the coast of Maine, so really representing, kind of driving home the coast, right? Also the soap itself is this real pale bluish color, again kind of driving the idea home of the coast, the water. Really wanted to drive that theme home, I guess. So, but overall, I really think that Acadia looks really cool here. And moving right along to our Redwood, this one's probably the most easily distinguishable one out of all 3 of them, with the obviously a tree design in the packaging, right, representing the redwoods or the sequoias. Also, the soap itself has that nice green color, again probably representing the trees. So again, good job for Ursa Major for really fitting all these soaps into a particular theme. So I thought they did a good job there. But moving right along to the next portion of our video, we're going to talk about the ingredients. So let's move right on. Cool, so we're going to start with the Zion again, and I'm going to go ahead and post the ingredients for you guys to check them out. Again, I'm not breaking them all down. There's too many. But I would like to talk about 2 of them. The volcanic ash has some purity properties, very similar to activated charcoal in that sense. And also the Moroccan lava clay, which I'm assuming is giving us that deep burnt orange color. But overall, not bad. We have a lot of different oils. We also got a couple salts. Kind of torn on that. It's not terrible, but I think we could have easily replaced those with maybe a coconut oil or something, but whatever. And these are the ingredients of the Zion. Overall, not bad. Okay, moving right along, taking a closer look at the ingredients of the Acadia. Go ahead and post that on the screen for you. And as again, you can tell we have a lot of ingredients here. We have a lot of different plant extracts and different oils and so forth. We even got peppermint again. Try telling, man, that stuff's everywhere. But everything, there you go. Everything else kind of checks off here. But last but not least, let's go ahead and take a closer look at our Redwood's ingredients. Here, our future ingredients are obviously the juniper and our fir needle, 2 very powerful ingredients here. Again, as you can tell, a lot of different oils, a lot of different plant extracts. So overall, not bad. And just like the other 2, no harsh chemicals, no synthetic fragrances or anything like that. So real good news there. But with that being said, let's move on to the next portion of our video where we're going to talk about the sniff test. Now, me personally, I really enjoyed my time with Zion. I love cedar. Sage is hit or miss for me, but for the most part, I do like sage, and I like when these 2 come together. I really did appreciate the way it sort of reminded me of that area. It made me think of that western desert, you know, give me those vibes. I would not have been surprised if this soap had been featured by a company like Outlaw Soap Company, just because of the vibes it gave off. But overall, I really did like this soap. I like the way it smelled overall for sure. Compared to the other 2, this one definitely has like the most earthy, most grounded smell, right? Which makes complete sense considering where this soap is supposed to represent, that area. So it makes sense that those type of qualities or properties is present here. Yeah, and moving right along to our Acadia sniff test. Guys, this one, I thought this might have been one of the most fascinating ones out of 3. Not that it was my favorite one, but I just thought it was really interesting how they were able to capture the smell actually being on the coast. Because it actually does smell like you're out on the water. I thought that was really interesting because a lot of companies do try to emulate that and they fail miserably. And I also do appreciate that they actually follow through with their soap, right? This is intended to be their fresh soap. It features menthol, peppermint, eucalyptus, those things. There's a combination of different scents like that. I think they even said sea salt. How many times you come across a company that will call a soap, I don't know, a cool waterfall, right? And you go to smell it and it's like straight mint, right? It's like, dude, that should have been called frozen pond, right? That's pretty annoying, right? But overall, I thought that was really cool. I thought it was fascinating how they were able to make it really feel like you out on the coast. So I thought that was cool. Okay, and now talking about the scent of the Redwood, this one's probably most likely my favorite one out of all 3. And it's probably no surprise to many of you, as I typically like to lean towards woodsy smells. Now, if I had to describe this one though, this is for sure a fresh, clean woodsy smell. Definitely has a Christmas tree vibe to it as well. So think fresh Christmas tree. Now, it doesn't go too far with the Christmas tree vibe. Just like the other 2, it also does have like this earthiness to it. Thought that was pretty interesting. Hey, now that we got the chance to check out the scents of our different soaps, all 3 of them were spectacular. Let's go ahead and move on to the lather test, and we'll see how each of them lather, and then we'll come back and we'll do final thoughts and conclusions. friends, welcome back from the lather test. As you can tell, man, our soaps have some really good lathers here. That was really legit to see. But let's start wrapping things up. Let's kind of go over everything and do some final thoughts and conclusions here. I thought overall the packaging and the way the soaps looked was all fantastic. I thought it fit the theme. They did a really good job of representing the national park or that area which they were intended to represent. Thought they did a spectacular job there. In terms of ingredients, I thought the ingredients for the most part was pretty well done. I would like to see maybe a few more oils, maybe some butters or something like that. I'm not a big fan of the salts, but I know they're not toxic, but that's just me. I just prefer coconut oils and olive oils and things like that. I would prefer to see that. So, and maybe some shea butter, something like that. So. Also, there's no harsh or toxic chemicals, anything like that. No synthetic fragrances as well. So overall, not bad. Then we got the opportunity to do our snip test for all three of them, and I thought they did a fantastic job there. I love the way how each of them did a really good job of representing or reflecting the national park of the area, right, of the scent. I liked how all of them had this rawness or this earthiness to them, right? They all smelled really, really natural. So I guess I don't really know how or why certain companies have that distinguishable smell, but it was definitely present here, and it makes a ton of sense considering what type of soaps we're dealing with, right? Now, speaking strictly performance-wise, I was actually really surprised with the soaps. I wasn't expecting my skin to feel as soft as it did. With the Zion, I did notice there was a little more skin grab than the others. But overall, I was really impressed at how all three of them made my skin feel. Now, I'm surprised because none of them have like olive oil or coconut oil or shea butter, things like that. So I guess I was expecting a little more dryness or skin grab or things like that, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. Now, but to be fair though, they do have a lot of other different types of oils. So I guess the other oils, they compensate for the absence of those, but if I was just being honest, I wasn't really expecting them to do as well as they did. Like I said, a little skin grab, but overall I thought they actually did really good actually. Really, really surprised and to a degree even a little shocked actually, if I'm being honest. Now again, to reharp, these soaps were made by Ursa Major. They in collaboration with Parks Project. These are the guys that raise money to help support our local parklands and wildlands and things like that. But Ursa Major's products in general are a little more expensive. That remains true here, as these soaps will cost you about the trifecta at least will cost you $40, and each soap individual will cost you $14. Now it'll come at 5 ounces each. Now, in most cases, honestly, bro, if it wasn't for the cause, I would probably say no, right? I wouldn't necessarily recommend this, just because I think it'd be a little too expensive. I like the soaps. Don't get me wrong. I love the soaps. I thought they did fantastic, performance-wise, smell-wise, the look, like overall, like I love that stuff. I think that's all really, really cool. But $14 is still a little bit much for a soap. But however, the only thing I will say, I think this more important thing for me is the cause, right? The reason. I think that's more powerful, more important, and more interesting. So I will say this, even if you're not interested in the soaps, man, go check out their website and maybe look at some of the other products they're selling. Parks Projects has a ton of other stuff, from camping gear, mugs, apparel, just different things like that. So even if it's not the soaps, maybe go look at something else. But I will implore you to at least consider it. But at the end of the day, I think these soaps are fantastic. I think Ursa Major did a good job. I'm a big fan of Parks Project, and any way I can help this company do their thing, any way I can play my role, I guess, in helping supporting our wildlands and things like that, I'm all for it. And I definitely encourage you to do the same thing. I'll leave links below if you're interested in the websites or other things, maybe even volunteering and things like that. I'll leave all that below for you to check that out. But once again, my friends, this is Natural Soap Man, and this concludes my review of the National Park Set by Ursa Major and Parks Project. I definitely encourage you to go check those out. Now, if you want to support this channel, you can go ahead and click the like, share with your friends and family, or even consider subscribing. All that, I greatly appreciate your time. Thank you so much. But until next Tuesday or in my next video, I'll see you guys then. And until then, take care. And as always, my friends, stay natural.